Celebrating diversity and culture is what we will be talking about in this video. So yes, the agenda is very simple. What is culture? What do we understand by socialization? The human socialization that I'm talking about, the concept of diversity, culture diversity, and the cultural pluralism and interculturalism. This is what these are terms that we would love to interact and understand, probably dissect in this short video. So, what is culture? It is a definition of culture that has been adopted by Edward Brunet in 1871. For him, a culture or a civilization is a wider sense of ethnography, is a whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, art, moral rights, and tradition, and probably other habits of skills acquired by a man as a member of society. So remember, we're talking about ethnography. In literal words, it's a community, a group of people, a community of people sharing certain habits, certain knowledge, certain beliefs, certain understanding, certain way of life to deal with. Culture consists in knowledge and behavioral patterns that are socially learned. Did I speak about the community learning? They are displaying similar behaviors. That is abstract patterns shared by the community, which are related in the conducts of individual. The result of these are the part of the community as such. In sum, we can say that culture can be summarized as a complex of value, custom, beliefs, and practices, which constitutes the way of life of a specific group per se. So, what do we understand by socialization? Socialization refers to the process by which individual is observed by the culture of the society. According to Child, way back in 1982, approximately 50 years back, 45 years back probably, individuals born with a different wide range of potential behaviors are driven to develop a behavior with which are much more restricted limits consist in what is common and acceptable in the norms of the society. So basically what we do is in way back in 1982 Child stated we might be born differently, we might have different attributes, we might have different personality, but essentially we are groomed, absolutely made to learn certain things that are accepted within the society, that is accepted within the community, and similar behaviors are only to be displayed. That is what the process of human socialization is all about. It is nothing but adaptive learning. It is almost the adaptive learning which becomes a permanent process. It is essential to the ethics of the community living and results in group cohesion, sense of belongingness towards one another. So it is adaptive learning as in norms, values, image of the group. Did I say it is a permanent process in the life of an individual, more intense in the first years of the age? It is internal in the life of the society because it becomes inclusive. It results in group cohesion, and that is what socialization is all about. It. So you remember, culture is all about ethnography. Human socialization is where you try to get aligned with the community feelings, community behavior thereby. So that is socialization, the process of socialization. People are born with predispositions of belonging to a society, but a need of socialization process become a member of it. Obviously, yes, we are when we are born, we are not aware of where we are born, how we are going to conduct ourselves. But as we grow up, the need to depend on somebody else, the need to have a sense of belonging helps us or motivates us to align with the community thought process, behavior, knowledge, way of life. So primary socialization, it is the first phase that the child goes through and by which the child becomes a member of a society. In this phase, the adult's ways are incorporated slowly and steadily. The stage ends when the child acquires the consciousness of the other and what it's this represented. Secondary socialization, any process that leads the already socialized audit to new sectors of world's society, developing conducts associated to what other expects of them. Chronological moment is childhood, internalizations is strong, emotion adolescence is absolutely essential, being aware of the social world, being there. Then comes the In the secondary socialization, we are chronological adult is all about adulthood. Internalization is weak. Emotional adaptation is dispersion. And being aware is socially being aware, socially being accepted. So that is what primary socialization and secondary socialization, minor differences is all about it. Remember, for primary socialization, chronological event is childhood. For the secondary, it's adulthood. For internalization, it might be strong for the child because child does not have a mind of his own. But as in the secondary socialization, it becomes a little bit weak. Probably people might be debating, discussing. Emotional addition is essential, and emotional addition and dispersion is slowly and steadily is getting assimilated or associated. Being aware is whole world and social world, and probably socialization, social awareness takes place. Understand what are my socialization agents? Socialization is the process by which a human being learns through his, probably her life, the socio-cultural element of his and her environment that adds them to his and her personality structure under the influence of experiences. The significance of social agents adapts in this way to the social environment in which the individual must exist, must live, must survive. In a wider sense, we are all socialization agents. That is, we are all by ways of knowledge, values are shared. Different agents may be reinforced. The effect of socialization process take place. Difficult the socialization process. Principal agents of socialization is family, is group of equal, your peers, your teammates, your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends, families, your schools, and probably the media communication that comes out. In each of the vital stages, different agents will have a bigger influences, and that is what we are looking for it as far as socialization agents are concerned. The diversity concepts, this is where you need to understand what is diversity all about it. Remember, people are all about variety, plurality, heterogeneity, and multiplicity. This is nothing but uh, just the important characteristics of diversity. Variety of people, plurality of people, thought process, heterogeneity of people, probably the mixing that we come around it, and multiplicity of the people. Wellner in 2000 stated diversity is understood as a number of individual differences, similarities that exist between people. It is inherent reality of human being that makes reference to the characteristic that define our being, our way of doing things that allow us to identify ourselves with a concrete group. When talking about diversity, we distinguish characteristics such as race, age, creed, national origin, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation. Depending on which the characteristic we focus, we can analyze the diversity from different perspective. Being our object of interest is cultural diversity. Cultural diversity, remember, consists of multiple cultures and interact on a global scale as well as in a different areas of the planet. It can be local, it can be regional, it can be global. Most of the societies are oriented from the fusion of different people and groups. Cultural difference leads to different traditions, different lifestyle that is expressed in multiple behaviors and set in a specific areas, as in linguistic, the language we speak, artistic, the way we express, religious is something which we adhere to the Almighty and how do we connect with the Almighty. Culinary is the way we eat food, we the food that we classify, and social structure. If we look in this particular photographs, people are coming from different diverse background, and this is nothing but variety, plurality, heterogeneity, and multiplicity. Again, this is what diversity is all about. It might be local effort, it might be regional effort. People have a different lifestyle. Why? Because they have been groomed accordingly. And this is nothing but a fusion of thought processes that takes place over a period of time. So diversity concept, these differences are also the causes of conflict. Definitely, yes. People come from different background, and nobody can ridicule the others background. In case you are doing so, probably you are in trouble. No one can belittle another's thought process. It is an issue. This is the very basis of all form of conflict, more or less prevalent in our world today. In this sense, within each group, individual presents a different way of understanding and experience the common culture of the group. Cultural diversity is the common heritage of humanity. So many states stand up for the conservation of different existing culture living in the territories. We, in 2001, UNESCO Universal Declaration of Cultural Diversity stated that the cultural diversity is the common heritage of humanity. Culture takes diverse forms across time, across space. This diversity is embodied in the uniqueness and plurality and the identified identities of the groups and the society, making up the mankind. As a source of exchange, innovations, creativity, cultural diversity is as necessary for humankind as biodiversity is for nature. In this sense, it is common heritage of humanity and should be recognized and affirmed for the benefit of present and future generation. So this is what UNESCO tells it to you. The Declaration of Cultural Diversity, where it says people from different diverse background, different cultural background, is as much an integral part of a human species existence as it is towards the natural or biodiversity is occurring in nature's perhaps. So that is what cultural diversity needs to be akin with. Article 2, from cultural diversity to cultural pluralism. In an increasing diverse society, it is essential to ensure harmonious interactions among people, groups with plural, varied, and dynamic cultural identities, well as their willingness to live together. Thus, defined cultural pluralism gives policy expression to the reality of culture diversity. Indissociable from democratic framework, cultural pluralism is conducive to cultural exchange and to the flourishing of creating capacity that is necessary. The diversity concept, according to the words of Penn, way back in 2007, is unstoppable, is unavoidable. Diversity is a must. Simple and straightforward word. Diversity is unstoppable, unavoidable, among other causes, because of the population aging in the third world country and the first world countries, immigration, culture, tendencies, the new role of women, the acceptance of the value of each individual in democracy, the consolidation of human rights, the development of gender ideologies, and the solidarity awarenesses of disabled. To sum up, the efficiency of diversity means an increasing use of creativity, finding talents, richness of human capital, the ethical values of its enhancement and inevitability creates the needs to face the phenomena inside and outside the companies per se. We talk about cultural pluralism, principles, equality, the non-discriminations of other culture, differences, the acceptance of other culture as it is, what we are looking. Remember, cultural pluralism is a part of multiculturalism and interculturalism. So, what is multicultural? What is multiculturalism? Where people from different cultures flock together, cohabit together, work together, staying together. And if you want to have a good example, you look at any metropolitan big cities, any cities. And if you don't understand metropolitan cities, which everybody must, you just look at the capital city of your country. You will see people from different background, different regions are assimilated, working together, staying together, cohabiting together. That is nothing but a glorifying example of multiculturalism. And then we have interculturalism, what we are looking into it, when people from one, two, three cultures stay together under the same roof and probably respect each other culture at the same time. And that is what interculturalism is all about it. So multiculturalism is working on emphasis on own cultures, look at multicultural and principle equality of differences that we talk about it. Whereas interculturalism is emphasis on relationship between cultures, two or three people from different background, different culture under one roof. Interculturalism under one roof. This is the pictorial representation. and principle of equality and differences, plus the positive interaction. Since you are staying under one roof, it is interculturalism. People, a glorifying example for interculturalism is two people from different culture, different religion getting married. So that is what interculturalism is all about it. So remember, derives from the word inclusion is the word exclusion of some as such, derives from the word exclusion and looks for inclusion for all of us. So this is what we are talking about from multiculturalism and interculturalism is the cultural pluralism that works around here. So what are we looking out here? We're talking about equality, we're talking about respect to diversity and positive interactions, fruitful interaction. So allow me to wind up this particular video. In the positive management of diversity, there is a need of fostering between the groups at every level, be it legal equality, equality in treatment, equality in opportunities, and gender equality. Remember, manifestation of principle of equality in cultural coexistence, community work. Why it measures to balance the opportunities between boys and girls in the community, equal access to health and social resources to everyone across the neighborhood, equality of dialogue for the neighbors in their different native languages, probably the mother tongue, if I may say so. There is no positive management of diversity without valuing, respecting, and benefiting from individual differences. That is what is very true. It is not the extreme equalizations, but an equal respect of differences and looking for union in diversity, acceptance in diversity. Manifestation in community work, recognizing the different cultural, linguistic, or religious expression of the community, thereby taking into account in meeting all the differences that are there in the neighborhood, making performances to multiculturalism, the associations, and the different places thereby. What are we looking as far as interactions is concerned? Taking advantages of the differences, in other words, to benefit from the common to all. It is achieved through intercultural collaboration. What is common to all is something dynamic. It is something that is changing over a period of time, the changing needs of community, changing needs of identification and elaboration, some common interest are the need to improve the quality of life. Everybody wants to have an improved quality of life, good experiences, healthy living, access to best facilities of entertainment, living, medical, education, the defense of the rights of the citizen. Requirement in community work for a positive interaction is common responsibility. Intercultural mediations and intercultural dialogue is what is the need for the day. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video till the end.